She's sitting right next to you on the couch, scrolling through her phone, laughing at something you'll never see. You think she's watching TikToks or texting her sister. But there's a conversation happening that would make your blood run cold. A male coworker who's just a friend. An ex who randomly reached out. A gym trainer who's being professional, and while you're watching the game, trusting completely, she's conducting a masterclass in betrayal that you won't discover until it's too late. The most devastating betrayals don't start in hotel rooms. They start in message threads you'll never read. You think betrayal looks like lipstick on collars and unexplained absences? Brother, you're living in 1985. Modern betrayal is invisible, digital, psychological. She's not sneaking out. She's checking out emotionally while her body stays put. She's not lying about where she's been. She's lying about where her mind goes. The woman sharing your bed has already shared her deepest thoughts with another man, and you're clueless because her betrayal leaves no evidence you know how to find. Here's what men refuse to understand. Women don't betray you suddenly. They betray you gradually, incrementally, in 1,000 small ways that individually mean nothing, but collectively mean everything. Each betrayal is so small you'd feel crazy calling it out, but stack them up over months, over years, and you realise she's been gone long before she actually leaves. The physical betrayal you fear? That's just the final chapter of a book she's been writing for years. Let me tell you something that'll haunt you. Every woman you've ever been with has probably betrayed your loyalty in ways you never knew existed. Not physical cheating necessarily, something worse. Emotional betrayal, mental betrayal. The kind that happens in conversations you're not part of, in thoughts she never shares, in connections she builds while you sleep soundly believing she's yours. She gave pieces of herself to other men that should have been yours, and you thanked her for being faithful because she came home every night. You see, men and women define loyalty completely differently. You think loyalty means not sleeping with other people. She thinks that's just monogamy. For her, loyalty is emotional, until it's not. And she can justify any emotional betrayal because nothing physical happened. She can have a full emotional affair, share her deepest secrets with another man, fantasize about a life without you, and still look you in the eye and say she's been completely faithful. In her mind, she hasn't crossed the line. She's just been walking right up to it, testing how close she can get without technically stepping over. The modern woman has mastered the art of technical loyalty. She's physically faithful while being emotionally promiscuous. She's technically yours while mentally belonging to the collective attention of every man who validates her. She keeps one foot in your relationship while the other foot tests how solid the ground is elsewhere. And the terrifying part, she doesn't even think she's doing anything wrong. Think about her male friends for a second. The guy from work she texts about work stuff that somehow always becomes personal. The old friend from college who comments on all her photos. The neighbour who's going through a divorce and needs someone to talk to. You trust her because she tells you about them, right? She's being transparent. But transparency is the greatest disguise for betrayal. She mentions them just enough so you can't accuse her of hiding anything, but never enough for you to understand the real dynamic. Here's what's really happening in those innocent friendships. She's auditioning replacements. Every male friend is a potential backup plan. She's not actively trying to replace you yet. But she's keeping her options warm, maintaining connections that could become something more if needed. She shares just enough of her problems with them to create intimacy. Laughs just enough at their jokes to keep them interested. Responds just quickly enough to their messages to maintain the connection. It's not cheating, it's portfolio diversification. You want to know when the betrayal really starts. The moment she starts talking about you to other men, not girlfriends, men. The second she shares your relationship problems with another male, she's inviting him to compete with you. She's giving him the playbook to your weaknesses. My boyfriend never listens. Translation. I need someone who pays attention. My husband works too much. Translation. I'm lonely and available for emotional connection. We're going through a rough patch. Translation. The door is cracked open, push gently. And these men? They're not friends. They're wolves in sheep's clothing, waiting patiently for their opportunity. They listen to her complaints about you, offer comfort, agree that you don't appreciate her enough. They position themselves as everything you're not, understanding where you're distracted, available when you're busy, emotional when you're logical. They're playing the long game, and she's either too naive to see it or too flattered to stop it. But here's the sick part, she knows exactly what she's doing. Women aren't stupid about male attention. They know when a man is interested. They know when a friendship has undertones. They know when conversations are crossing boundaries. But they continue anyway because the attention feels good. The validation is addictive. The confirmation that they still have options is intoxicating. So they maintain these friendships that are really just emotional insurance policies against your relationship failing. Watch how she acts when she gets a text. Does she angle her phone away slightly? Does she smile at her screen and then quickly neutralize her face when you look? Does she type more than necessary for a simple response? These micro-betrayals happen 50 times a day. Each one is her choosing privacy over transparency, choosing them over you, choosing the thrill of secret communication over the safety of open partnership. The workplace is where most loyalty dies. 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, she spends more waking hours with male co-workers than with you. They see her dressed up, professional at her best. You see her tired, stressed at her worst. They get her jokes, understand her work frustrations, share her daily experiences. You get the leftover energy after her real day is done, and slowly, insidiously, emotional connections form that have nothing to do with you. There's always that one coworker, you know the one. She mentions him just a little too often. Stories from work always seem to involve him. She knows details about his life that seem unnecessary for a work relationship, his divorce, his kids' soccer games, his favourite coffee order, and she shares details too. Your fights, your weaknesses, your intimate life becomes break room conversation. She's building intimacy with another man using the private details of your relationship as currency. Social media is loyalty's silent killer. Every photo she posts is a beacon for male attention. Every story she shares is an invitation for connection, and she knows it. That workout selfie, that's not for her girlfriends. That feeling frustrated status, that's bait for masculine comfort. She's not technically doing anything wrong, but she's creating opportunities for betrayal, maintaining a network of potential alternatives, keeping her market value visible while supposedly being off the market. Look at her DM sometime. Actually don't, because what you'll find will destroy you. Conversations with men that start professionally but drift personal. Old flames checking in just to say hi. Random guys shooting their shot that she doesn't immediately block. She might not respond inappropriately, but she reads them. She lets them accumulate. She keeps these doors cracked open, these possibilities alive, these betrayals in potential form. The most insidious betrayal is comparison. She's constantly measuring you against other men, real and imagined. Her friend's husband who bought the surprise vacation. Her co-worker who remembers every detail she shares. The fictional men in her books and shows who never forget anniversaries. You're not competing against other real men. You're competing against a composite fantasy of all male perfection she's assembled in her mind. And you're losing a game you don't even know you're playing. She betrays your loyalty every time she discusses your sex life with her friends. Those intimate moments you thought were private. They're group discussion topics. Your performance, your size, your techniques, all fodder for wine night conversation. Her friends know more about your bedroom than you know about theirs. And worse, she's getting advice from women who might be sabotaging your relationship because misery loves company. Female friends or accomplices to betrayal. They cover for each other automatically. Girls' night, that wasn't. The gym buddy who doesn't exist. The work conference that ended early. Women have an unspoken agreement to protect each other's secrets, to provide alibis, to never betray the sisterhood even if it means betraying you. Your woman's friends will help her hide emotional affairs, cover for inappropriate behaviour, and encourage her to explore her options while smiling in your face at dinner parties. You know what's really happening at those girls' nights? They're not just drinking wine and complaining about husbands. They're showing each other dating apps, even if just for fun. They're analysing texts from male friends, helping craft responses that maintain interest without crossing obvious lines. They're sharing stories of temptation, normalising the idea of backup plans, making betrayal seem like empowerment. Every girl's night is a masterclass in how to betray while maintaining plausible deniability. The emotional affair is the modern woman's preferred form of betrayal because it's defensible. We're just friends. Nothing happened. You're being jealous and controlling. She gaslights you into thinking you're crazy for noticing the obvious. Meanwhile, she's sharing her deepest thoughts with another man. Her hopes, her dreams, her fears, all given to someone who isn't you. She's building emotional intimacy that should be reserved for your relationship. And when you confront her, you're the bad guy. Here's a truth that'll mess with your head. She's probably more honest with her emotional affair partner than with you. With him, she can be vulnerable without consequence, share her doubts without starting a fight, express her dissatisfactions without hurting feelings. He gets the authentic version of her thoughts while you get the edited version designed to maintain peace. He knows what she really thinks about your marriage while you live in carefully maintained ignorance. The moment she creates a secret, any secret from you, loyalty is dead. That could be a separate email account, a deleted text thread, a lie about where she was, even if where she actually was seems innocent. Because secrets require energy to maintain, and that energy creates distance. Every secret is a brick in a wall between you. By the time you notice the wall, it's too tall to climb. Modern technology makes betrayal frictionless. She can have an entire emotional affair during her lunch break. Build a connection with someone across the world while sitting next to you. Share intimate conversations that disappear into the digital ether, leaving no trace. The same phone you bought her for safety has become her tool for secret connections. The laptop you share contains hidden folders of possibilities. The tablet on her nightstand is a window to worlds that don't include you. You want to know the exact moment she begins betraying you. It's when she starts editing herself for other men, when she takes 3 photos to get the right angle before posting, when she thinks about how her male coworker will react to her story, when she dresses differently on days she knows she'll see him, when she saves funny things to share with him later. She's performing for an audience that isn't you, seeking validation from sources that shouldn't matter. The validation addiction is real, and it's destroying loyalty everywhere. Every like, every comment, every reaction feeds a need that you alone can never satisfy. You're one man with one opinion, but Instagram gives her hundreds of opinions. That direct message from a stranger calling her beautiful hits different than your 1000th compliment. The attention from men who don't have to compliment her carries more weight than your obligated appreciation. She's not betraying you for one man, she's betraying you for all men's potential attention. Here's what really kills me: she'll betray your loyalty while demanding absolute loyalty from you. She'll have 20 backup plans while expecting you to have none. She'll maintain inappropriate friendships while going through your phone. She'll share your secrets with everyone while demanding you keep hers sacred. The hypocrisy is staggering, but in her mind it's justified because her betrayals don't count since nothing physical happened. Women have mastered the art of pre-betrayal. They lay groundwork months in advance, building connections that could become something, maintaining friendships that could become more, keeping options open that could be activated. It's not active betrayal, it's passive preparation. She's not planning to leave, but she's making sure she could. She's not trying to cheat, but she's ensuring she'd have options if she wanted to. The reputation betrayal is particularly vicious. She'll paint you as the villain to justify her emotional distance. Every fight becomes a story of your inadequacy. Every mistake becomes evidence of your failure. She's building a case against you in the court of public opinion, gathering witnesses to your supposed crimes, creating a narrative where her eventual betrayal seems justified, even noble. By the time she actually betrays you, everyone already thinks you deserved it. You know what's crazy? She'll betray your loyalty while genuinely believing she's a good partner. In her mind, she's faithful because she hasn't slept with anyone else. She's loyal because she comes home to you. She's committed because she hasn't officially left. The emotional energy she's investing elsewhere, the intimate connection she's building with other men, the backup plan she's maintaining. None of that counts as betrayal in her carefully constructed rationalization. The fantasy betrayal might be the most common. She's physically with you, but mentally with the idealized version of another man. Could be a celebrity, a fictional character, or that guy from the gym she's never actually talked to. She compares you to fantasies, finds you lacking, and checks out emotionally. She's going through the motions of your relationship while living a rich fantasy life that doesn't include you. Her body is present, but her mind is committing adultery every day. Work trips, girls' trips, any trip without you becomes an opportunity for betrayal. Not necessarily physical, though that door is open, but the freedom from your presence, the break from being taken, the ability to be seen as an individual rather than half of a couple. She flirts a little harder, laughs a little louder, presents herself as a little more available. She's not planning to cheat, but she's enjoying the possibility that she could. The attention economy has turned every woman into a potential betrayer. She's not competing with other women for your attention, she's competing with other women for all men's attention. Her loyalty to you is constantly being weighed against her market value in the broader sexual marketplace. Every day she's calculating whether your commitment is worth more than her potential options. And social media keeps showing her those options, keeping the grass looking greener everywhere but her own yard. Here's a brutal truth. She starts betraying you the moment she stops being proud of you, when she stops posting photos together, when she stops mentioning you in conversations, when she refers to plans as I instead of we. She's slowly extracting her identity from the relationship, creating distance that makes eventual betrayal easier. She's practicing being single while still being with you. The modern woman has infinite opportunities for betrayal and zero accountability for them. Every app is a portal to potential affairs. Every social platform is a marketplace for attention. Every interaction is a chance to explore options. And society tells her she's just networking, or maintaining friendships, or being social. The same behaviours that would have been obvious betrayals 50 years ago are now just normal female behaviour. You want to see betrayal in action? Watch her with her phone when you're trying to have a serious conversation. That device is more important than your words. Those notifications matter more than your feelings. The possibility of something interesting happening there outweighs the reality of what's happening here. She's betraying your presence, your attention, your attempt at connection, for the dopamine hit of digital validation. The comparison betrayal happens every day. She's scrolling through curated lives, perfect relationships, romantic gestures you haven't made. Every post showing someone else's vacation, someone else's surprise, someone else's romance is a small betrayal of your reality. She's choosing to poison her contentment with constant comparison, building resentment through repeated exposure to everyone else's highlights while living in your behind the scenes. She betrays your trust by sharing your vulnerabilities as entertainment. That deep fear you confessed becomes an amusing anecdote. That childhood trauma you revealed becomes dinner party conversation. That insecurity you admitted becomes her explanation for why things aren't working. Your openness becomes her currency, spent freely in exchanges that build her connections with others while destroying her connection with you. The financial betrayal is subtle, but real. Secret purchases, hidden accounts, money spent on maintaining other options, gym memberships to look good for others, clothes for attention, dinners with friends who might be more. She's investing resources in everything except your shared future. Every dollar spent on external validation is a dollar stolen from your partnership. Here's what men don't understand about female betrayal. It's often unconscious. She doesn't wake up deciding to betray you. She slides into it gradually, justified by feelings, validated by friends, encouraged by culture. Each small betrayal makes the next one easier. Each boundary crossed makes the next boundary meaningless. By the time she's deep in emotional affairs, she genuinely doesn't see anything wrong with it. The betrayal of potential is perhaps the worst. She stops seeing your future together as her primary future. She starts imagining alternatives, different lives with different men in different places. She's physically present in your relationship while mentally exploring every other possibility. The life you're building together becomes just one option among many, and usually not the most exciting one. You know she's betraying your loyalty when she stops fighting with you. Not because things are good, but because she doesn't care enough to fight. Fighting requires investment. Anger requires caring. When she stops arguing and just says whatever, she's already gone. She's saving her emotional energy for connections that matter to her. Connections that aren't with you. The selective memory betrayal is particularly cruel. She remembers every mistake you've made but forgets every sacrifice. Catalogues every disappointment but dismisses every gesture. She's rewriting your relationship history to justify her current betrayals. In her edited version, you were always lacking, she was always suffering, and her betrayal was always inevitable. Modern women have been programmed to see loyalty as oppression. Commitment is settling. Exclusivity is limiting. They've been told they deserve everything, should explore all options, need to find themselves. So they betray loyalty not with guilt, but with pride. They're not cheating, they're growing. They're not betraying, they're evolving. They're not disloyal, they're authentic. The backup plan is the ultimate betrayal. While you're planning a future together, she's planning a future without you. While you're investing everything in the relationship, she's diversifying her portfolio. She knows exactly who she'd call if you broke up, where she'd go, who would comfort her. She's got exit strategies you don't know exist. Parachutes packed while you're still climbing. She betrays you every time she performs relationship happiness for social media while being miserable in private. Those couples' photos hide dead bedrooms. Those anniversary posts mask daily resentment. She's more invested in appearing happy than being happy, more committed to the image of your relationship than the relationship itself. The attention-seeking betrayal is constant. The low-cut top worn to work, the yoga pants at the grocery store, the carefully crafted Instagram thirst traps. She's advertising availability while wearing your ring, seeking validation from every male except the one who committed to her. She wants to be wanted more than she wants to be yours. Here's the thing about female loyalty. It's conditional on feelings, and feelings change. She's loyal while she feels loved, valued, excited. But feelings are weather, not climate. They shift with hormones, circumstances, moods. Her loyalty is as stable as her emotions, which is to say, not stable at all. You're not partnered with a person, you're partnered with whoever she feels like being today. The social circle betrayal is strategic. She maintains friendships with people who undermine your relationship. The perpetually single friend who wants company. The divorced friend who preaches freedom. The male friend who's waiting for his chance. She surrounds herself with people who validate her betrayals, normalize her disloyal thoughts, encourage her worst impulses. You want to know the truth about why most women betray loyalty? Because they can. Because technology makes it easy. Because society excuses it. Because consequences are minimal. Because they've been taught that their happiness matters more than their honor. Because they've learned to rationalize any behavior that feels good. Because loyalty requires sacrifice, and sacrifice is no longer fashionable. The modern woman treats relationships like Netflix subscriptions, maintained while useful, cancelled when boring, replaced when something better appears. Your years of investment mean nothing if her current feelings say leave. Your shared history is worthless if her present desires point elsewhere. Your loyalty to her is expected. Her loyalty to you is optional. She'll betray you while sleeping next to you, building connections on her phone while you snore peacefully, trusting completely. She'll have entire emotional affairs in the gaps of your attention. While you're at work, at the gym, watching TV, she's investing in other possibilities, maintaining other options, betraying you in ways you won't discover until it's too late. The preventive betrayal is particularly insidious. She betrays you preemptively because she assumes you'll eventually betray her, creates backup plans because she assumes you have them, maintains other options because she projects her own disloyalty onto you. She justifies her betrayals as insurance against your potential betrayals, creating the very distance that guarantees relationship failure. Women have been taught that loyalty is weakness, that having options is power, that male attention is currency, so they accumulate attention like wealth, hoard options like resources, treat loyalty like poverty. They'd rather have the theoretical possibility of many men than the actual reality of one good man. The worst part? When you catch her in these betrayals, you're the problem. You're jealous, controlling, insecure. She'll gaslight you into thinking that expecting loyalty is toxic, that wanting faithfulness is possessive, that noticing her betrayals is abusive. She'll make you feel crazy for expecting the basic respect of exclusive emotional intimacy. That's the reality of modern relationships. You're not competing against other men. You're competing against the possibility of other men. You're not fighting against actual betrayal. You're fighting against the constant potential for betrayal. You're not trying to keep one woman loyal. You're trying to keep her loyal in a world that rewards disloyalty. Most women betray loyalty without you seeing it because betrayal has been redefined. What used to be clear violations are now grey areas. What used to be obvious disloyalty is now female empowerment. What used to end relationships is now normal behaviour. The standards have shifted so far that expecting basic loyalty makes you the unreasonable one. So what's a man to do? First, recognise that her loyalty was always conditional. Second, understand that you can't control her capacity for betrayal, only your response to it. Third, stop expecting traditional loyalty from modern women. They're not programmed for it. Fourth, protect yourself emotionally and financially from inevitable betrayal. The hard truth is this: in today's world, most women will betray your loyalty in ways you never see coming. Not because they're evil, but because they've been programmed to prioritize feelings over faithfulness, options over obligations, attention over attachment. They'll betray you thoughtlessly, carelessly, habitually, all while believing they're doing nothing wrong. Your trust is a vulnerability, your loyalty is a weakness, your commitment is a cage she'll eventually escape. The woman you trust completely is probably betraying you in small ways every day, building toward bigger betrayals you won't see until they destroy everything you've built together. Don't say you weren't warned.